Good evening, Council. I'm Dan Flynn, a lifelong member of this community and somewhat of a newcomer to local politics. I am running for City Council in Ward 4 against incumbent Councilman John Stewart, who I consider a lifelong acquaintance and friend. Hi, John. What I have to say tonight has nothing to do with either John or my candidacy, but everything to do with our great hometown and our future. I have 4 topics I'd like to address the Council on this evening and promise to be brief. In fact, for the sake of brevity, I'd like to simply address the topics uninterrupted as they are somewhat related, so here it goes. Topic number 1, the LLC developments on South Highway 30. It appears either our elected officials or public sector administrators put all their eggs in one basket, decided everything was going to happen between South Street and Woodhouse some time ago. And what we're left with right now is a lot of unmaintained, ugly, weedy patches of unkept silt fences blowing in the wind as the summer rains slowly ooze silt down the broken hills towards the highway. When approaching City Hall to visit about an unrelated situation, I just happened to pick up a magazine addressed to Blair Mayor Jim Ralph in the city of Blair. The first article I flipped to mentioned the fact that 28 to 30% of all speculative commercial real estate nationwide currently sits vacant, much of it less than 5 years old. Municipalities are feeling the added burden of picking up the tab on many of these nearly bankrupt ventures. It does appear to me that there is a double standard in our community. While individual homeowners can quickly be reprimanded or fined for improper property management, unmown grass, weeds, or junk accumulation, LLCs owned by deep pocket speculators can seem to get away with noxious weed growth, improper silt fence or runoff maintenance, and no one seems to care. It appears our fine city has pandered to 2 of the largest privately owned corporations in America, Cargill and Walmart, but not commanded the same good neighbor behavior as expected of individuals. That was topic number 1. We'll move on to number 2, the Library Convention Center. I've heard many of the anti-library crowd say that in 10 years people will no longer read books. I sincerely hope this is not the case. As a proud grandparent, passionately interested in the development of young minds, I definitely want generations to come to have the same access to classic literature that I had. Anyone who uses or visits the library regularly can easily ascertain that we are in great need of a new library. I'll give you an example. I was in there the other day observing. I saw some of the daycare children in there from Little Blossoms. They take the bus with the older kids down there. I saw a little girl approach the librarian. She had definitely selected a book that she would like to read. I observed this from about 10 feet away and watched this happen. She was told, "We do not have that book here in this library, but we have the e-book." I saw, just like the commercial where they promised the horse on the bank commercial, that little girl's face dropped. No, she wanted the real book. These are some of the issues that we face about quality of life in this town that I feel have been overlooked. If the economics of the times don't allow for it at this time, I still feel that the crazy talk about ramming this issue prematurely down people's throats deserves a rebuttal. We've been studying and rehashing this issue for years and getting little progress on the subject. We at least owe the library board and the citizens of Blair some guts and decision making as to what direction the city intends to take. I recently had a vision while eating biscuits and gravy at the Masonic Temple on Sunday morning, the weekend of Gateway Days. With the Y in my view and an American flag directly in line with my view, I envisioned a new library to the east and what I would call an event center connecting the new library to the Y. The theme I imagined for our wonderful city was a cultural mecca which would live up to the following statement: where healthy bodies and healthy minds meet, healthy communities begin. Let's go to topic number 3, the closing of our Dana College. 2 years ago, I had the privilege of hosting an educational, economic, and energy forum at Fernando's on the day that our current president accepted the nomination in Denver. My first speaker was Janet Phillip, president of Dana College. The first thing President Phillips said was that absent an unknown or unexpected huge new donor base or some sort of federal or state aid, that Dana would be closing their doors in a year or so. To hear our mayor on the local radio station claim he had no idea how bad the situation was belies the fact that he was sitting at the front table when this was mentioned. All through the beginning of this campaign year at Meet the Candidate sessions, I've heard a lot of pat-on-the-back rhetoric about how jealous other communities are of Blair's good economic fortunes and immunity from the downturn. With the bowling alley up for auction, the wide and dire straits, numerous real estate properties for sale due to overvaluation and high taxes, the college closing, and many small businesses downtown either vacant or struggling to make ends meet, I'm kind of getting a little bit different picture of how things really are. We are nearing crisis mode economically in this country, and I feel what we need at this time is real leadership, not cheerleaders blindly following broken paradigms.